Hi everyone, welcome to the Ever Seeking Empath. So I am a reader who uses tarot, oracle, and charms, and I love themed readings. So today's reading is kind of themed around Labyrinth, the movie from the 80s starring David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly. In case you've never seen it, Jennifer Connelly's character kind of goes into a fantasy world and has to make her way through a labyrinth to rescue her baby brother from the Goblin King, who is played by David Bowie. So today's question is, how do I get through the labyrinth? Jennifer Connelly's character asks that a few times in the movie. She's trying to figure out how to get her way through there so that she can save her brother. Hopefully today's reading will help you kind of get some insights on how to overcome the obstacles that are currently in your life. I'm using cards from the Labyrinth card game and have some handwritten quotes that I've shuffled and added to each pile as well. So this is a general reading, so just know not everything may resonate with everyone, so that's okay. Just take what resonates for you and leave the rest. I'd also like to ask that if you enjoy this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel so that you can see when I've posted new content. We've got 3 piles to choose from, so pile 1 is this gray pyramid here. Pile 2 is this pink and black pyramid. And pile 3 is this white pyramid. So just use your intuition to guide you to one of the piles, and that will be your pile. You can choose more than one, so just know that then, maybe half of each pile will resonate more with you. But just take a deep breath, use your intuition to choose a pile, and we'll start with pile number 1. Hi, Group 1. So if you chose this gray pyramid, then this is your message. Let's figure out how to get through the labyrinth. So for your tarot cards, you have the King of Books, which is the King of Wands, the Father, which is the Emperor, and the Cavalier of Owls, which is the Knight of Swords. So that's all very active energy, so I feel like just to start from your tarot, I think it's telling you to just go for it. Whatever you're trying to overcome or achieve, you just need to kind of follow through on whatever plan you have and take action. Now for your oracle, you've got Imagine, number 20. Navigating by the Stars, Follow Your Bliss. Pedestal, number 38. Wings of Light. My Dear Friend, number 47. She Who Grants Wishes, Alice, Wish, Desires, Hope. And finally, you've got Surrender. I surrender the old limiting beliefs. I awaken and am reborn into limitless possibilities. So I feel like whatever you're trying to achieve is something that you feel is unattainable, especially with this pedestal card. I feel like it's something that either you've been told that you can't achieve, or you don't believe in yourself enough to go for it, or you just feel like it's just more fantasy than reality at this point. For a lot of you, I'm sure it will be like a job or a career path or something. For some people, it might be somewhere that you want to live, if you want to live abroad or travel somewhere. And it can even be a relationship if you feel like a particular kind of relationship or a particular person is maybe out of your league. But the rest of these cards are just saying you can achieve it. Whatever you believe in, you can do, because you've got this Imagine, and you've also got Navigating by the Stars, Follow Your Bliss. So it's just saying follow through, you can do this. And you have She Who Grants Wishes. So I feel like if you wish for it and you work for it, you can achieve it. So I think it's just, these cards are all just telling you to try for it, to kind of believe that you can do it and then go for it. I feel like you might be healing from something in the past that has discouraged you from going for this. With this Wings of Light, it always just makes me think of like kind of an angel healing type vibe, that maybe you have some really good healing energy around you with this kind of green color. I think that's heart chakra and the color of healing. So just know that whatever you've been through in the past, it's in the past. You don't have to take somebody else's words to heart or take kind of obstacles to heart. If it's discouraging you, just know sometimes obstacles are just obstacles. They're not necessarily a sign saying you shouldn't do this or anything like that. And just know that you have other people around you to help. That could be kind of that wings of light meaning as well, is that you have other people around you who are willing to help you heal, but you just have to trust in them and turn to them. So I feel like just kind of trust in your support system and know that you can do it. And I feel like when you get down on yourself, just trust the people in your life to kind of help boost you when you're feeling down. And with those tarot cards too, that's all very active energy. And the Emperor is somebody who is structured and stable and makes a plan and just, kind of goes through the logical way to do things. And then with that King of Wands, that's very much following through on a plan, taking action on things. And the Knight of Swords takes action first. He rushes into things before he thinks about it. So I feel like this is saying you may have been overthinking and kind of talking yourself out of whatever this is. So with surrender, it's saying, I surrender the old limiting beliefs. So drop that feeling of not being good enough. You don't have to take that as gospel. You can release it. You don't have to trust in that as fact. I awaken and am reborn into limitless possibilities. So trust that anything can be for you if you want it and you work for it. If there's a career that you want but you just feel like you're not good enough for it, trust in your abilities and just work for it. Just try to do it, just jump in, because the time's going to pass anyway, so you might as well follow through and try to go for it, especially if it's something that is always on your mind that you can't stop thinking about. So now we are going to do your handwritten Labyrinth quote. So I shuffled these up, so let's see which one you got. Perfect. You have no power over me. So yeah, I feel like this is just saying don't give power to people who were discouraging you, or to people who don't believe in you, or to past experiences that made you feel not good enough, because you are good enough. So just dismiss all of those old mindsets that no longer serve you. Don't give them more power over you. So we are going to do your charms now. So let's see what they have to say. So I am going to use the hearts to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group 1, how do you get through the labyrinth? Okay. So you've got the compass in the heart. So I feel like just kind of, I almost feel like this is telling you, what direction you want to go in, and maybe you're just trying to figure out how to go there. Like you're just trying to figure out the kind of logistics in the situation. So yeah, just do that. Just know that you can trust your gut on which direction you want to move, and you don't have to be discouraged by people who say that you shouldn't do that, or by past experiences that made you feel like you weren't good enough for that. So I'm going to move this kind of out of the way just to make sure I've got all of these. Yeah. So you've got, for zodiac signs, you have Capricorn and you have Pisces. So those could resonate with some people. Capricorn is very ambitious, hardworking energy, and Pisces is very dreamy. So those combined do kind of fit with this, that you have to dream it and then follow through. I think there's a Disney quote, if you dream it, then you can do it. And I feel like that's kind of what this pile seems to be saying. You've got the number 4, so that could be an important number or an important date for some of you. And, and you've got number 4 with the Emperor card as well. So just there's that repeated 4 with just kind of the structure and like logical approach to things. You've got the letter M, so that might resonate for people for a name or a company or maybe a career title or something. I'm also thinking of the Magician card in tarot, so that could be that kind of manifestation energy as well. You've got the cat on the moon, so that is about feeling like your dreams are unattainable and just kind of sitting and waiting, you know, imagining your dreams coming true, but without necessarily following through on them. So I feel like that's kind of what you've been doing for a long time, is just wishing that they could come true, but without following through. You've got this Fool energy here, so that's saying definitely go for it, you know, get excited and jump in, you know, take that leap of faith. You've got this Skull and Crossbones, so definitely you've been kind of involved in some toxic thinking, and you might have been around toxic people who were making it difficult for you. You've got this violin here, so music could be part of it, but I also think of that kind of tiny violin, like overdramatic sadness, like just kind of feeling very woe is me and just kind of feeling sorry for yourself. So I think it's saying get out of that mindset, because you're not doing yourself any favors. You definitely have the ability to grow with this tree. You've got the ability to allow this situation to grow into something stable as well, and it's really just going to take confidence with this crown. With the jack-o'-lantern, I feel like maybe the full moon on Halloween might be important for some of you, because this usually it symbolizes fall. It can also just be Halloween oriented or kind of spooky oriented, like having to kind of do with your fears, and maybe your fears not being as scary as they seem when they're just in your head. You've got this Wands energy, so that's action oriented. You've got the Genie's lamp, so definitely wish come true energy is coming through very strongly in this pile. You do have this heart key here, as well as the Ace of Cups. So for some of you, this might be a relationship that you want, or feeling like you're undeserving of love. So just, again, cut that thinking out. You know, if you feel like you're not going to be able to get this because you don't deserve it, or because you're not good enough, then that's the kind of attitude that you're giving off to other people. And you might actually have people interested in you, but you're going to miss those opportunities because you're too busy feeling sorry for yourself. With this dream catcher, I feel like it's saying get rid of all those negative thoughts, the nightmares, and hang on to the good. So follow through on your daydreams and the things that you're excited about, but leave the fears behind. With this seahorse, it can mean slow and steady progress, and also going with the flow, like not kind of fighting against the current. With this egg here in the egg cup, that always makes me think of how some people harden under pressure. You know, the egg is soft on the inside and hard kind of on the outside, but then when you put it in boiling water, it hardens on the inside, and that's how a lot of people go through stressful situations, is then they harden and they kind of lose any kind of compassion or softness, or even compassion for themselves. So it's just saying try to avoid doing that, because that's not going to serve you in the future. With this doe here, I feel like this could mean like feminine energy, like just kind of soft and nurturing. So maybe I'm getting that this could be a loved one that is willing to help you out, and that is kind of in the background supporting you and waiting for you. But it can also, I'm also getting like a fawn energy of, you know, you're new to this. This is something that you haven't done before, and so you're kind of maybe being too hard on yourself because you feel like you should be at a more advanced level than you are. But just recognize everybody has to start somewhere. There's nothing wrong with being a beginner. Give yourself a break with these palm trees. And with the golf clubs, that's all about trying to use the right tool in a situation. So make sure that you've got all these tools at your fingertips, but just recognize it takes time to kind of learn which tool is right in each situation, and sometimes it's just trial and error to get there, but then you have the ability to choose which tool is right for each situation. This sun is an omen of positive progress and things coming to fruition, manifestation, things, you know, it's just happiness and contentment. This feather always makes me think of having, you know, one more feather in your cap. So I feel like this is something that's new for everybody, that you're trying to learn a new skill, or you're doing something you haven't tried before, especially with that Fool energy too, that's doing something new. So this could definitely be like new territory for you. So especially in those scenarios, do not be hard on yourself. You don't have to be an expert from the get-go with whatever you're trying to achieve. And with this Scorpion too, that could be Scorpio energy, but it can also mean kind of being ready to sting at any moment. And maybe you've been stung in the past and that's why you're hesitant to move forward now. But just recognize that you don't have to be on your guard at all times. All right, group 1, I hope that resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so leave a comment below. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe to my channel so that you can see when I've posted new content. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Hi, group 2. So if you chose this pink and black pyramid, then this is your message. So let's figure out how you can get through the labyrinth. So for your tarot, you've got 6 of Owls, which is the 6 of Swords, Lancelot, number 14, which is Temperance, and the Ace of Clocks, which is the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like this is saying that you are in the process, or you've just finished moving on from something kind of tumultuous, difficult, and you're moving on to a better period of time. So I feel like it's also saying to try to be patient with yourself, because I wonder if you're maybe working on yourself or your life in some way and things aren't happening as quickly as you want them to, and it's kind of frustrating you. So just trust that things will get better, and know that you don't have to hold yourself to such a high standard. You can kind of take it easy on yourself and be patient with yourself, and trust and know that it takes time to get things done and to make big changes. So let's see what your oracle cards have to say. You have Peace, number 23. So that's good. I feel like that's saying a time of peace is coming to you, especially after whatever you've been through that's tumultuous. You have Impasse, reflect and redirect your energy. Magic Fish, number 47. Creativity. To the Moon and Back, number 51. She Who Becomes, Eterna, Metamorphosis, Transcend, Journey. And She Who Avenges, Nemesis, Revenge, Outcomes, Justice. And then finally, you've got Act. Upon waking, I am ready to act on my passions and dreams. So yeah, I feel like maybe you've been waiting for changes to happen, that you've been feeling like you've been kind of blocked at every turn, especially with this impasse. I feel like maybe you keep running into walls and you have to keep feeling like you have to restart and, you know, kind of regroup and plan again, like what direction to take, because every direction that you move in, you just feel like there's this huge, overwhelming obstacle that you can't get past, that you just reach a dead end all the time. So you might be working on some sort of creative project, because you do have creativity, but maybe this is just saying you might have to have creative solutions to your problems, that you kind of have to think outside the box, especially with that impasse. I feel like maybe you've been kind of trying the standard, more traditional ways of doing things, and now you have to kind of think outside the box, do things differently, not follow in anyone's footsteps or anything like that, but just do your own thing, find a new way to do this. Especially I'm seeing She Who Becomes, and it says Metamorphosis, Transcend, and Journey. So I feel like you are changing, that you're kind of going through some sort of metamorphosis, and you've been kind of running into the same things for a long time. You might have been dealing with somebody who had it out for you. I'm seeing Nemesis, Revenge, Outcomes, Justice. So you might have been wanting to kind of take revenge on somebody who wronged you, and you know that that's not the right thing to do, that kind of karma will take care of it, and you can just kind of worry about your own thing. You don't have to worry about punishing anybody else. So I feel like you know that they'll kind of, you know, learn their lesson eventually, and if they're not going to learn it, they're going to have to keep going through that again until they've kind of gotten to be a better person. So I feel like you're waiting maybe for justice to occur, that something has been done to you and you're waiting for things to turn out better, because I'm seeing this to the moon and back, and that always makes me think of just kind of waiting for your dreams to come true. You know, you're either not acting on it or you're not able to act on it, and so all you can do is kind of wait and wish and daydream. And I feel like maybe that's what you kind of have been doing, or maybe that's what you're doing in kind of the in-between when you're regrouping and trying to figure out how else to move forward. With this magic fish, that's always, I see it as kind of about like manifestation and, you know, moving in a new direction and trying to follow through on things, and just kind of picturing what you want and then going for it. Because I feel like it always kind of makes me think a little bit of the Fool energy as well. Because this mouse has this little, like, it kind of looks like a like dewdrop or something, but I'm seeing it as like a little hobo bag, that he's kind of on his way to a new life. So I feel like, yeah, you've been through something tough and you're trying to move into a better period where you can get a new start and, you know, just finally kind of live the life that feels more comfortable and more secure. And I feel like with this piece, you're kind of in the period before this egg hatches too. Because I'm kind of seeing this as that Ace of Pentacles, where it's on its way, it's coming. A time of peace is on its way to you, but you're just not seeing the results yet. It's still kind of incubating. And then with this act, it says, upon waking, I am ready to act on my passions and dreams. So I feel like maybe you're ready to act and you just feel like you've been waiting and you're ready to do something about it. So I feel like maybe it's just going to be a little bit longer, but just maybe get a plan in place so that when things line up, you can act. You can just jump on it and you don't have to wait anymore. You can just go for it. I'm going to get your handwritten quote message now. So I shuffled these, and so let's see which one you got. So it's quite often, it seems like we're not getting anywhere when in fact we are. That is so fitting for this pile. I can't get over this. Pile 1 fit very well with the cards as well. So yeah, I feel like you're not aware right now of what's going on behind the scenes, or that things are kind of falling into place for you because you can't see it. So just trust that things are starting to work out. So things are just getting kind of organized behind the scenes so that when everything is right, then you'll see that opportunity and you'll be able to go for it, and it'll be smoother for you. It's not going to be like where you keep running into walls. It's just you're in that waiting period before things turn out right now. So just have patience, hold on a little longer, and know that things are going to get better. So now I'm going to do your charms. Sorry, I had to move the camera. I just didn't want everyone to have to watch while I get that kind of straight so you can see the charms. So I am going to use the heart today to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group 2, how do you get through the labyrinth? So in the heart, you've got this flower, which I always kind of think of the phrase perfectly imperfect, like it's kind of a wonky looking flower. So that kind of makes me think of needing creative solutions for this problem as well, that you might not be able to follow the kind of traditional tried and true, the way that everybody thinks of. You might have to go a little bit of a unique route. And maybe the thing that you want to do might be unique as well, and you've got like a new twist on something that other people haven't thought of. So just know that that means you're going to have to go kind of a different way, and people might not be understanding you. So for zodiac sign, you've got Pisces. So that could be your sign or the sign of someone you know who's involved in this situation, but it's also just very idealistic, dreamy energy. So I feel like that with that kind of to the moon and back card makes me think that you're just in that period of kind of imagining things, because that's all you can really do at the moment is just hope and dream of things getting better. Kind of gives me like Cinderella vibes when she's just kind of, she woke up from a dream and now she's singing, and she's kind of believing that things will get better. So I'm seeing kind of a few different situations here for people. So I'm seeing a few kind of love situations, as well as possibly somebody might be trying to get pregnant. That's only probably for a few people, but I'm seeing the baby feet, which often speaks of children or pregnancy, but it can also relate to just taking baby steps towards something, because that might be the only thing that you can do at the moment, is taking tiny steps forward. The letter K is here as well, so that could resonate. That could be a name or a company, or a word might pop into your mind. And then the number 18 is here as well. So that could be an important date, an age, just like a lucky number for somebody. Things will get better though. I'm seeing a sunflower, which is very much like the sun, and the sun here. So that's positive vibes coming in, things getting better. I'm seeing this closed book, so you don't know what's coming, and I feel like the only way that you can figure out what's coming up is by turning the page. So, you can't skip ahead in the book. You have to just read through it, and so if it's going slowly, just know that way you're kind of going through every step on your journey, but that doesn't mean that you're not moving forward. This hand speaks of protection, so protective energy is surrounding you, and also other people might be reaching out, willing to help. So just kind of be aware of that there are people around you who are willing to help. You've got 2 seahorses here, so this could be partnership for somebody, that you're trying to figure out kind of how to go about being partners with someone or move a relationship forward. But if it's child related as well, this speaks of an equal partner who's going to follow through and kind of carry their share of the load. So that's a good omen. It can also just speak of slow and steady and going with the flow and not pushing too hard. You've got this egg here. So I feel like it's just saying sometimes you just have to wait for the egg to hatch, that you can't rush it. And this is reminiscent of the egg on this peace card here. So just know that the egg just needs time to incubate. You can't rush it. You can't force it to hatch early. It's going to hatch when it's going to hatch. So just know that just because you don't see it moving or anything, that doesn't mean that things aren't happening and that things won't change. You've got the boy and girl in this heart here. So I feel like a love relationship might be involved for some of you. I'm also seeing like childhood crush kind of thing. So I feel like it could also be like a childhood dream oriented kind of thing, that whatever you wanted to be or do as a kid is kind of coming through, and that you're trying to move your life from a more traditional path to this kind of unique path that you've dreamt of since you were young. We've got this teardrop here. So yeah, tears might have been shed over this. This was an emotional situation that you're leaving behind, and the transition period is difficult as well. You might be feeling kind of emotionally guarded at this point, like you don't want to let people in, you don't want to share your woes with anybody, that you want to kind of handle it on your own, but you might want to open up to people. I feel like maybe you're not aware of how much people are willing to help you, that they want to help and kind of do whatever they can to kind of ease your burden. You've got a lot of symbols of kind of spiritual and angelic protection here. You've got this feather, and you've got the angel kind of looking down. So just know that you're being helped and protected in this situation. You're trying to figure out which way you can go. That kind of makes me think of that impasse card, that you're trying to figure out, if this is a dead end, which way do I go? I'm not sure, how to get moving forward, but you want to speed it up, because I feel like this always makes me think of like fast forward, and you just want to skip ahead to when things are feeling better, but you can't do that. You've got to take it slowly. And with this turtle too, you've got to take things slowly and just recognize that things take the time that they need in order to kind of emerge. Things can't be rushed, but you're changing, this metamorphosis is happening, and just recognize that that's going to take time. It's going to take the same amount of time that it needs to. It's not going to be faster. You can't kind of nudge it along very well. So all you can do is try to learn the lessons you need to for the time being, and just take care of the things that you need to in order to prepare, so that when things change and open up again, you can just shoot forward and get things moving quickly. Because I am seeing quick movement coming in with this running horse. So yeah, that's definitely coming. I just think for the time being, it's going to be slow for a little while longer, but then it will open up, things will get smooth again, and you'll feel like you can actually breathe again. So I feel like, yeah, you're just kind of, you maybe just kind of need to watch your form, is what I'm thinking with this golfer charm. Just, you need to make sure that you've got everything kind of lined up the way it needs to be. When you're kind of setting up like a golf shot, you need to make sure that your arms are a certain way and that you're standing in a certain position, so that things kind of work out the way that they're supposed to. So I feel like that's where you can direct your energy right now, is just kind of setting things up so that when things get moving again, you can handle it. Because I feel like a lot of the time when things start moving quickly, it gets overwhelming. It feels like too much then. So it's hard to strike that balance. And that Temperance card as well speaks of balance. It's saying stay in balance. You need to just make sure that you kind of keep things in moderation. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or bored, that means that something has to change. So just recognize that and try to kind of get to the point that you're flexible and able to kind of juggle and balance things as needed. This computer makes me think that communication could be coming in, or it could just be technology related, maybe a career or something like that. And with Mercury retrograde too, that might be one of the obstacles that you keep running into. I feel like Mercury retrograde always seems to screw up everything technologically. Like, I always feel like I'm dealing with computer issues or whatever, and that's probably one of the things I have the least amount of patience for. I was just talking to somebody about that today. So you might be running into that kind of obstacle as well. This saw makes me think of needing to kind of cut things down to size. So if you feel like you've got too much of something in your life, or you need to kind of get things to fit together better, that might need to be when you have to cut things out or just kind of balance things out again. You've got this can of soda here. So that just makes me think of like needing a refreshment. Like, you just need to feel like things are better for a little bit. You need to take a breather or something. So do something that just makes you feel good. If you can kind of take even like 10 minutes or an hour or whatever time you have to just breathe and do something that just makes you feel like your mind is clear again. Go for a walk, get out in nature, like, take a bath, something like that, to just be able to breathe and like get through it. Because I feel like when you're just in that stagnant like energy waiting for things to change and get better, it's so draining. So I think you just need to do something to kind of fill up your emotional cup again. We've got this dress on a hanger and the lipstick here. So those are often like symbols of attraction, or like dressing up, like kind of fixing things up to be more beautiful or something like that. So I feel like, again, that's just saying to kind of fix up the situation, like take care of the things that you can take care of right now, clean up a bit, kind of get things in order so that when things start moving again, you're ready for the movement to take place and you're not going to get overwhelmed having to take care of all the little nitpicky things as well. So group 2, I hope this resonated. I would love to hear if it does, so leave me a comment below. I would appreciate if you would like this video and then subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That way you can see when I've posted new content. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Hi group 3, so if you chose the white pyramid, then this is your message. So let's figure out how you can get through the labyrinth. So for your tarot, you've got the Ace of Orbs, which is the Ace of Cups, 5 of Books, which is the 5 of Wands, and the Queen of Clocks, which is the Queen of Pentacles. So this could be love related or just something emotional going on. And with the 5 of Wands, Competition could be in order. It could just be like friendly competition, like game playing and that kind of thing, or it could be a more intense competition, like for a job or something like that. And then with the Queen of Pentacles, that makes me think you might need to focus on self-care or things kind of going on at home, just kind of like focusing on like the grounded and just nurturing that and just practicing compassion for yourself as well. So let's see what your oracle cards have to say. You have regeneration, number 46. Miracles, expect the wondrous to emerge. Home Sweet Home, number 64. Flame of Inspiration. Change of Seasons, number 42. You have She Who Divines, Futura, Future Choice Judgment. And She Who Emerges, Kamala, Enlightenment, Mindfulness, Rise Up. And then you have Inner Child. I reconnect with my inner child through fun and play. So, yeah, I feel like you've been through some big changes lately. I'm kind of getting the vibe of like cycles and things coming back around. Maybe some of you have kind of gone home again with that home sweet home. I feel like that always makes me think of kind of like the end of the hero's journey, like the return home, you know, when everyone's there to celebrate you and stuff. And I know a lot of people have kind of had to go home during this pandemic situation. And with the change of seasons, that makes me think again of just like cycles, going through cycles, kind of the ends of things. So I feel like you've gone through something and now you're kind of back at the beginning, like where you started. You're not necessarily in the same place that you were, but this is kind of like the beginning of another cycle. And with regeneration as well, I feel like you've gone through something difficult and now you're regenerating. And it's just that kind of constant cycle of things kind of burning up and then, you know, the healing that comes with it. Because with this flame of inspiration, that's giving me that fire energy as well. So I feel like maybe you've kind of gotten inspired to do something. This makes me think somewhat of creativity and like getting inspired to do something, just like work on a new creative project or like starting something like that. But it can also be just getting inspired to take care of yourself. Like it's just having passion towards something. So I feel like just if you're feeling that, indulge in that a bit, you know, just kind of recognize that that's a good thing to get your passion back and to get your fire back. Because I feel like for a lot of you, you've gone through a rough time. So it might relate to that kind of competition. Maybe you've had to compete for a relationship. I feel like for many people, maybe you were the other person if somebody was in another relationship or something like that. But otherwise, it could be competition at a job. It could be like friendly competition and you just feel like you're kind of on a cycle of losing in some sense. But just know that good things are coming. Expect the wondrous to emerge. So, and I love that repetition of the word emerge as well in this Kamala card, She Who Emerges. So I feel like, yeah, you're able to rise up, and I feel like you're kind of maybe trying to figure out what the future holds with this She Who Divines, that you're trying to maybe make the right choices so that you can kind of start living the life that you want to live. Maybe you're feeling like what you've been doing hasn't worked for you, or you've kind of been through one cycle and you're ready for something different. For a lot of you, I feel like you're kind of healing that inner child. I keep looking at this card. So I feel like some of you might kind of be healing some inner child wounds and kind of trying to either reconnect or repair relationships with parents or other family members, loved ones from when you were young, something like that. And I just feel like you're kind of learning, you know, why you had to go through things the way that you did. I also feel like it's just saying, try not to only take things seriously. I think when you go through a tough time like that, when things are just kind of like fiery and harsh like that, that's when you need to take care of yourself. With this Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups as well, that's, you know, take care of your emotions, take care of your inner self. And then with that Five of Wands, that could just speak of fun and play. Maybe you just need to be playful and kind of indulge in some kind of friendly competition just to kind of get out some of that angst and, extra energy that builds up when you're going through something difficult, And I feel like if you're kind of feeling like stuck for a while with the change of seasons and this kind of rising up out of the mud here, I feel like sometimes just getting that fire back for competition or just like getting inspired to do something exciting is, what it takes for you to get out of that mindset sometimes. So I am going to read your handwritten quote from the movie now. So the first two piles resonated really well with the cards that came out, so we'll see which quote you got. So you got, "It's not fair." So that's a line that's repeated throughout the movie that the main character keeps explaining, she keeps complaining that things aren't fair, and she keeps saying, "It's not fair, it's not fair." And at some point she realizes, yeah, it's not fair, but she still has to move forward. She still has to do something about that, and she can work with it, even with it being unfair. She still triumphs. So I feel like you maybe have not been treated fairly for a long time, and now you're like, you know what, I'm still emerging, I'm still rising up, even though I've been held down a lot. I'm regenerating, things are changing, things are getting better, and I'm expecting better in the future. So I feel like, yeah, I think you're kind of dropping the self-pity and you're moving into a time where things are better. So let's see what your charms have to say, group 3. Sorry, I had to move the camera. I didn't want you to have to watch while I adjust and stuff so that you can see what charms I pull. So I am going to use the heart to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group 3, how can you get through the labyrinth? Okay, got a lot of charms. All right, so in the heart, you've got the rose. So I always think like kind of every rose has its thorns. So I feel like even if you're doing something in your life that you're really happy with, that you're excited about, that is what you're meant to be doing, it still comes with the bad side of it. I feel like maybe you've just been kind of going through the bad parts of life right now and you're ready for things to get better again. And so kind of that's where you're at. And I feel like seeing the beauty in the situation as well, like stop and smell the roses, is kind of coming through. So I feel like maybe you just need to kind of pay extra attention to the tiny things that make you happy in order to kind of have a better perspective on the situation. Because I think it's easy to kind of fall into being really down on everything when things are tough. It's easy to just kind of fall into that, oh, it's unfair state, when this is saying, look at the good things too, because those are present. You just have to look closely sometimes to notice them. So I feel like that goes with your cards as well, just not falling into that kind of self-pity mentality. You've got the number 12 here, so that could be an important date or just an important number for some people. It could also be the month of December, if that resonates for some reason. So there could be some big changes coming in December. You've got D and Z for the letters. And then you have special love and learn for your words. So I do feel like some of you, this is like love related, because I'm seeing a few different charms that kind of make me think of that. Here's another possible sign of December. You've got the Christmas tree here, so winter could be a significant time of change for you. So, and this could also just mean that you're kind of in the winter period of this situation in your life right now, that don't worry, spring is coming. Things are going to, start looking better soon. So, you've got a few symbols here of protection and of protecting yourself, being protected by other people. You've got this cross that's a symbol of protection. And then you've got the open umbrella as well. So, I feel like you've been kind of going through having to protect yourself. And this another umbrella as well. So, I feel like that can just be draining when you just feel like you kind of have to keep your guard up for so long. So, just recognize that you don't have to always have that up. Things are going to get better. And I do feel like I'm just seeing like December has to be like having something, like things are going to change in December. So you've got the star here, which is like wishes being granted and a sign of hope. You've got another rose here. So I feel like just kind of focusing on the positive might help just kind of get you through this tough period. You know, everybody has to go through those really difficult times, but sometimes all it takes is like something tiny during your day to make it feel like it's not all bad, even when things are really rough. If you just find like a tiny little semblance of hope in that day, sometimes that's all you need to just get through to the next day. And just that's all you can do is take it day by day. But I do feel like transformation is happening. Things are changing with this butterfly. And I feel like you're going to triumph because you've got the Arc de Triomphe from Paris here. So I feel like things are going to work out in your favor. It just might take some time. Yeah, and with the Statue of Liberty, that always makes me think of like moving on to a new, more like a safer or a better life in some way. You've got the stethoscope, which is a sign of healing. You've got another symbol of love here. So yeah, I feel like just kind of focusing on love. Here's another sign of like kind of unending love, like love that traverses a distance. So I feel like just kind of focusing on the people you love and just self-love is a huge focus for you right now. I feel like just make sure that you're loving yourself and caring for yourself and just knowing when you have to take a break, take a step back, just doing little things that kind of boost you up a little bit so that you're not kind of feeling so stuck. Yeah, this is a symbol of getting unstuck as well. So I think just recognizing that it'll happen. It might take more time, more effort, more work than you had hoped, but you will get through it. Because with this football player too, I feel like he's mowing down everyone in his way and he's not going to stop for anybody. So just know that things are going to work out. And I feel like with this, you just have to take it step by step. And you can't like jump steps or anything. You just kind of have to take it one step at a time. And just listen to your inner wisdom, because I think you know what you need at any time. But yeah, just you can trust your wisdom. And here's another sign of feeling stuck is the spider web. So I just know that you're getting unstuck. You're going to be able to cut ties with the situations and the people that no longer serve you. So, but you might have to let go of some things that you're feeling attached to. You might have to release some of those tight attachments. I think something from the past is kind of haunting you with this little ghost here. So yeah, things just might, with that, hold on, let me move this really quick to get this. Yeah, with the inner child card, I feel like there might be some childhood wounds that are definitely still affecting you. And I just make sure that you're seeing things clearly and that you're not making them worse, not making the situation worse than it actually is. And just, yeah, give yourself a break. Just know, like, you know, you can only kind of hold your breath for so long. And then when you come back up, you have to just kind of let it all out, you know. So that might be your symbol. You need to talk to somebody too, because whales are often a symbol of communication. So it might help you to talk to somebody, but communication might also be coming in for you that will help kind of relieve you of some of your burdens. With this bird flying, that is usually my symbol of saying that things are already in motion, things are already on their way to you, so just hold on. You've got a new start coming, so I think you just need to embrace that sense of play with this like kind of jester. I feel like you might have to just embrace fun and laugh a lot with people, you know, just find people you can laugh with so that you can kind of relieve yourself. You know, laughter is so healing. I feel like sometimes you can have the worst day, but if you can just like laugh until you hurt, sometimes that's all it takes to kind of put things back into perspective and to make you feel like, okay, things aren't all bad, you know. This fertility goddess says that things will get better. Spring is coming, you know, things are going to start kind of blossoming again. You're not always going to be stuck in this kind of like bare bones, cold, like empty time. And with this bowler hat, that's my symbol for working hard and just kind of keep going no matter what it takes. And, you know, you're protecting yourself, but you just kind of got to keep going, you know, keep working at it and things will work out. But it feels to you like things are just endless. Like you keep working and, you know, to no avail. So just know that that's not going to be the way it is forever. Things will get better. And then with the mixer, that always makes me think of just needing to mix the right ingredients together to make things work out. So I feel like if the recipe isn't working right now, you know, if it doesn't taste good or whatever, just kind of play around and experiment a little bit to see what fits, what makes you feel more imbalanced, what makes life feel better. You know, do you need to take, you know, an hour to yourself every day to be able to recharge? Do you need to have more of a certain kind of person in your life? Do you need to have less of a certain kind of person in your life? You know, sometimes you just have to kind of figure out what that balance is going to be, where you can live with it. This stag is a very active energy, so that's definitely saying that action is coming. You know, like I feel like somebody is taking action towards you, or you're nearing a time where you can take more action on whatever you need to do. And then with this shell too, I feel like you might kind of tend to clam up when you're going through a tough time, so reach out if you need to. That's also a symbol for kind of deep emotions as well. So I do feel like if you're feeling overwhelmed, it is good to reach out to people and just even lighten things up. Just recognize that laughter and just kind of having that sense of lightness sometimes is what's needed. So all right, group 3, I hope this resonated. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already so that you can see when I've posted new content. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time.